Market update here on the 27th. So let's go over all the tech stocks in SPY and QQQ. Huge day again, 2% on SPY, 2.72% on QQQ. Microsoft drove it. Meta obviously drove it. Amazon was up, and then they had earnings. Apple, all the tech stocks were up. We can actually look at FinViz and just see. I think, let's see if Google was up 3.74% too. Even Tesla was up, like I talked about in the video earlier. So again, if you didn't watch the video yesterday, one way to recognize that this is potentially going to start a fifth wave is this right here. It's pretty simple. Take a parallel line from the first to the third wave, take it to the bottom of the second wave, and you can see it comes outside of there. I noticed that yesterday when we were at 406, and sure enough, we pop up here. I wasn't 100% sure if this is going to be ABC. It's looking more and more like it's going to end up being a fifth wave, which would break the high here and probably stop somewhere in this box. So that's pretty much all the analysis that needs to be done on SPY right now. We're either going to go to a new high, which looks very likely, especially after Amazon earnings, or it's going to be ABC. We are in a supply zone, so we'll have to wait and see tomorrow. But if we zoom in here on lower time frames, it's just one of those moves that just keeps on melting up, and it's very impulsive move. Even on lower time frames, I can't really see 5 waves. But if we're just looking at this from a fib perspective, then we're looking for somewhere between the 0.5 and the 0.61 fib. Could go to 426. It could fall short of that too. Normally I go for the 0.5 fib. That's around 422. Could be short of that though. We could only go to the 0.38 fib. I would think probably around 420 would be a good target. So that's SPY. Let's go over QQQ now. Same thing. I'm looking for 327. After hours, it's up a little bit more. Not too much because Amazon cooled off a little bit. But if this is not the top, then we're probably going to go to 327. The reason I got 327 is I took the length of wave 1, 2, or wave 1 and wave 3. Wave 3 is longer than wave 1. I'm just assuming that it's going to be the same length as wave 1, which is 42 points, which takes us to 327. If it's the same length as wave 3, that would take us to 338. So 327, 338 are 2 targets. If we can get through this supply zone into this one, it looks like we're going to though. So 327 and then 338 if you get past there. So that's QQQ, SPY. Amazon just had earnings. I had one of my best trades of the year here. I just bought shares right before the close. The reason I bought shares is partly because I'm hedging, because I do have some short positions that I've gotten that are down a little bit. So I figure why not hedge when I know this is going to go to 121. So I bought 500 shares before the close, and sure enough, I sold those like at 4:05, 3:05 my time. I sold them within 5 minutes. We were at 122 at one point after hours for one of the best trades of the year, so that was nice. But I think it looks like this is probably going to be it on this move, and I've been saying this for a while. I've been looking for A, B, C like that, and it looks like that's going to play out. So the top of this parallel line is around 122. It could be a 5-wave move too, but that would have to go all the way to 135, and it looks like it is kind of topping out here. So 135 would be the 1.61 fib, and Yeah, so that's pretty much what I think on Amazon. It's probably going to top out in this supply zone, maybe a little bit higher, but we'll have to see. 135 would be a third wave, and that would mean that there's a potential bottom here. But if it just comes up here to like 121 tomorrow, or if it doesn't even get that high, then I'm looking for the move down to start, or at least something like this. That's possible too, because we are looking for a correction here soon. So that would be A, pullback B, and a C wave higher. So yeah, this B wave might be pretty quick. Okay, Apple. I've been talking about 177 for a while, and the way that QQQ is going at 320, 177 within $10, I think is very realistic for Apple, maybe even going into earnings. And Apple might be the trigger for the sell-off. We don't know yet, but 177 is the target. Let's just see here. So you got 144, 124, top here at 157, plus 20 is 177. So that's kind of my target now that we're already at all the way up here at 168. And so we'll see how it goes. I think it'll probably happen either tomorrow or on Monday, Tuesday. I think earnings aren't till Thursday though, so maybe it'll take all the way till Thursday. Okay, Microsoft. In the video earlier, I talked about 306.89 as the gap fill. We're not there yet. So maybe tomorrow it hits the gap fill, or maybe it takes a little bit longer. But anyway, 306.89 was my target for the top of this move before it sells off again. Let's go over the dollar and Bitcoin. So you can kind of see too, all these stocks are getting to the top right now. And I'm more confident about them being at the top now than I was. And 306.89, you can see on the weekly time frame, this is just getting overbought here on Apple. Let's see, weekly, not yet. But if it goes to 177, it will be overbought. We can look at some gap fills on Apple as well. Let's just see if there's any gaps here. Small gap here at 170. That's already filled. Yeah, so 170 has a gap, and then after that, that's pretty much it. So no gap fills on Apple. Microsoft already went over. QQQ, I don't think I've gone over the. Already filled that one. There is a small gap fill here at 345. I don't think we'll get there on this move, but if we sell off and go higher, we can get there. SPY already filled theirs. Dollar. Let's see if the dollar has any gap fills. The upside. Nope. I don't see any. So I have this laid out. I don't know if this is going to play out like this, but it very well could into the summertime. If this is a wave one, something like this, probably would be more quick like this. But that's very possible. My ultimate target is down here at 93 on the dollar. So we'll see if it ends up doing something like this and then goes down. That would play into a correction in the market, or we just have a small bounce and then start a third wave down and the market just keeps on melting up. So VIX coming back down, and we have that line here that it basically hit, went a little bit past it. Could come down here and hit it again here at 1633 and then bounce again. We shall see on the VIX. Let's go over Bitcoin. Bitcoin back up to 29.7. I was looking at this in the weekly time frame, and I could see how you could see two different ways on this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pullback, second wave, third wave, fourth wave, and a fifth wave higher would probably take us all the way up to 37,000. I sold mine around 30,500, and then I've been dollar cost averaging into them. The reason I'm doing that is because I don't know how far this is going to fall, but we can look at this wave right here and find out if this is a 5-wave move right here, then that means this is only wave 1. So we can zoom in here. If I can get it right here, let's see. So if this move right here, one, two, one, two. It looks like a 5-wave move to me. Let's see. 1, 2. So very well could be that Bitcoin is actually about to start a 5th wave. Let's just look at our parallel lines here and just get an idea. So 3rd wave would have ended right here. Let me zoom out again on the weekly. So 1, 2, 3, pullback, 4th wave. Does seem like a 4th wave, how slow and choppy it had been over the last couple of weeks. So if that is the case, looking at it like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 like that, that would go along with the overall market, and we would probably top in the next, I don't know, I can't really say, I guess, on Bitcoin, but here in the next couple of weeks, maybe up here to 37,000 and then sell off. So we'll see how that goes over the next couple of weeks. Anyway, that's it. One more thing. I want to look at another stock. I've never charted this one, but maybe some people are interested in it. It's Net. Just look at this on, because I was thinking about this stock a long time ago, thinking it might be a good buy. It's down here at 46 after hours. And no gap fills on the weekly. Already filled this one. So, I don't know. I was interested in this stock. I don't know if it's a good buy right now or not. But it has retraced. Over the 0.78 fib. So I would say it's a pretty good buy here. Look at this pattern real quick. It might be a pretty good buy, honestly, if this ends up being a first wave and it pulls back here to 46, put a stop below the low, and then maybe ride it up. But I don't know that much about the stock right now. I was just looking at it because I was seeing they had earnings today. So I'll leave it at that. Actually, one more thing to point out. Here's another indicator that I've added. And supposedly this has to do with the liquidity in the market. I guess it uses the 12 EMA. And you can see that when the price is underneath this indicator, it usually goes up. When this is below the price, it usually goes down. Not always. You have places right here where it goes way higher, but it always comes back down. I mean, that's just like any moving average, but supposedly this one has to do with liquidity. I was talking to a guy, he created this. So for that for that reason, that's another reason for this could sell off pretty hard. We're pretty far below the actual price, and we can look at other times when it was way below. So up here, way below, it came all the way back down. Way below, came all the way back down. And way below, the price way below goes way higher. So kind of like a moving average, but it's called CBDET, liquidity. And I was messing around with a little bit, but just add it on there, take a look. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe if you like the content. Basically, my overall thesis is we got a little bit more to go now, higher. Now that it's pretty obvious that we're probably going to make another high. And I think that the Fed that talks next week could be the top in the market. So we will see. But QQQ up after hours. SPY not up as much after hours. Anyway, enough talking from me. Have a good night.